We're at an amazing place called the Gunny. It's an abandoned kids playing park, a skate park that was set up roughly around the 1970s. Doesn't look very impressive, it looks a bit worse for wear, a bit overgrown, but this is probably where the height of the old punk scene and skateboarding scene was back in 1970s Canvey Island. But the name, the Gunny, is not without reason. It was actually a World War II heavy anti-aircraft battery, and the gun pits are actually buried under the soil when the park was created. These guns would have probably been some of the first line of defence against an air raid on London. So we're going to go and check out what features we can still see peeking out through the soil. But the site is fortunately here to stay. The gun pits and the buildings are scheduled monument, so they are protected. There's been talk about refurbishing it into a bit of a heritage park, as has been done around the country, perhaps digging out some of the gun pits, but unfortunately nothing has come to fruition as of yet. So let's go and check out this unsuspecting gem.
This is the original entrance to the site, consisting of a bridge over a ditch. The marshland fields it was based on would have been extremely waterlogged. Here are the bases of post-war garages, although the original encampment for the gun battery would have existed south, where houses now lie. The site was officially known as TN7 Furtherwick and operated from around 1940. It was close to another heavy anti-aircraft battery on West Canvey. It was equipped with four 4.5-inch octagonal gun pits, two of which are visible here. Their corners have slowly creeped through the earth since their burial. Each pit would have had a holdfast in the centre to hold the gun down, and ammunition recesses and a bomb shelter in the outside. This is all still probably buried. Their corners have slowly creeped through the earth since the pits were buried. These two pits would have been connected by a sunken magazine ammunition store, consisting of a fairly large building surrounded by a blast wall. A small dip in the ground here reveals a segment of the magazine building, offering an exciting glimpse into quite how much is beneath the soil. Behind the arc of four gun pits stands the command post for calculating fire and identifying targets. This consisted of a bunker with several sunken rooms and open walled areas for necessary equipment. A radar would have been on site to assist with detecting enemy aircraft, although much of this information probably arrived externally. Many of the pathways through the park follow the original plan. Two square gun pits were added later in the war. The base of one of these still survives, along with a mysterious concrete lattice next to it.
So it's really strange being back here. I probably haven't been here for maybe 7 or 8 years. It just feels like you are in a heavy anti-aircraft site. You can see where all the gun pits would have been, obviously concrete bases for some of the buildings. It's just a really strange place to be. I mean, it'd be so fantastic if this was restored, or if you could just go back in time and see what it was like. But such an incredible thing that still survives today.
Many of Canvey's roads were upgraded to withstand military vehicles moving to defensive sites such as this. After wartime, much of the present housing cropped up around the battery access roads, including these precast, reinforced concrete houses, a kind of second wave prefab. This shows the lasting impact upon modern Canvey that the dramatic presence of the military brought to the quiet island in the build-up to one of the greatest wars of our time. Today, a substation lies on part of the park and a care home over much of the encampment. The site is only one of 9 original wartime heavy anti-aircraft batteries in Essex surviving, and many of these have lost features which this site retains, such as the command post. Will this time capsule ever be opened, or will it remain eternally safe yet unappreciated beyond the surface?